So, question for you. You are the moral compass of Finch and Reese. So, how do you see that changing now that you're getting more and more involved and sucked in deeper?
Well, she's still who she is, but she has a better understanding of who they are and what they're trying to do. And because she is for the moral good of all men, she kind of gets what they're doing, so she doesn't mind as long as they don't step over the boundaries.
That too much seems to be changing a bit.
Babysit them now. She still has to babysit them and make sure they're not running amok all over the city. But I think she feels that deep down what they're doing is morally right. So I think that's why she's more on board now.
I think you did a great job early on of trying to toe the line, really a moving target between what was right for that particular situation, and there were many times where you said, "Hey, I'm done," and it took Reese to pull you back into another situation. Can you talk about a little bit about how the characters have grown over the past few episodes, because they've really undergone a lot of changes? I mean, yours especially. You've had to walk a fine line more than anybody else, and I think your character is like one of the more interesting. I mean, you're all interesting, but you've had to walk a very fine line.
Yeah, I mean, Fusco's kind of an anti-hero, if you would. I think Finch and Reese, in the beginning, Fusco was very reluctant to embrace the idea of Reese, and I think as it progressed, Reese allowed Fusco to kind of come back to this heroic image of himself that he had once had, and kind of brought him back to what he got involved in police work in the beginning. So it's been really kind of nice to see that kind of sense of duality in the character. As I say, you're not sure if he's a good guy doing bad things or a bad guy doing good things.
True.
And so there's that undertone of potential danger at any time is always nice to play. And what I really enjoy is whether it's a good guy or a bad guy, they leave it up to the viewership. And the character's never really defined. And it's up for the viewer to determine whether or not they like him or whether they have dislike for him. So it's a pretty interesting character.
It is very interesting. I could keep asking questions.
I'm trying to let you guys get a word edgewise here.
Has Carter been totally convinced that Finch and Reese are good guys, or is she still on the fence about helping them?
I think at this point she gets it. Like I said, I think she believes that what they're doing is morally right. She still has more questions though, like how are you getting this information? I think that's more of what they may dig into this season, because she's still a cop and there still are rules, and she's a really by the book cop. Like she's a clean cop. Like you can trust Carter, and I think that's why they call on her. Because they know they can't trust her. But I don't think her guards are up as much, because like I said before, I think she believes in what they're doing. She wants to save people. That's why she's a cop. But then there's the question of, but how do you know? How do you know? So I think that's her struggle now.
You get to operate some heavy ordnance in every episode. What kind of training did you guys have to undergo or did you do any?
They train us as we go, because you never know what weapon they're going to put in your hand.
I know, they put that big rifle in your hand one day.
Every week is different.
We have a Marine Corps sergeant who was our tech advisor on the pilot, but from the North, it's been kind of trial and error.
What's it like been shooting in New York City? I mean, having come from right now, how crazy it is.
It is for me, it was very crazy. It was very guerrilla style. So it's like, okay, they throw you in the street and they throw the cameras and it's like, go. And it's like, well, wait a minute, aren't you going to stop the crowd from coming? And they use all the people. So then you're walking down the street and New Yorkers.
I come from that. Yeah.
That's a planet in and of its own. Like, get out of the way. It's like, wait a minute, I'm shooting a television. It's like, what do you mean? Stop, I gotta go to work.
Can't you tell I'm a cop?
I'm a New Yorker, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
Or you're like in the middle of the scene, and they're like, Taraji, we have to love you. I'm like, shut up, I'm trying to go home. So that part was like, I had to get used to that. Like, that kind of threw me off of my rhythm a little bit, but I'm really used to it now.
Reese and Fusco were having a conversation on Lexington Avenue, and it was a private conversation in a public place. And we were literally, we couldn't have been no more than 12 inches apart. And an old lady walked right between us, pulled a shot, and hit me with an elbow on the way by. He just kept going, and I'm like, excuse me, you see that camera over there?
And they don't
the camera's
care.
across the street, you know? I mean, but literally, it was like, we were this far from each other, and she went right through the half the way, right through. So funny.
We need to make a movie about that.
You guys have put together a great product. We so look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.